So I got fired today. I don't give a fuck. Either way, I'm gonna be straight. And then tomorrow, I'm just gonna go to a whole bunch of like studios and like ask if they have any internships open, and also just like ask questions. Like I don't fucking. We're just gonna go in studios. What else? Motherfucking record label companies. Like I'm just gonna go in and ask. Who gives a fuck? At this point, I have nothing to lose. I literally have nothing to lose. I have no place. I have no job. I have no children. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Who fucking cares? I'm just gonna do it. I'll let you know how that goes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. That is Miss Doechii. This is when she got fired 4 years ago. And if for all you guys that don't know, or all you guys and gals that don't know, Doechii is, she's on the come up still, and she's doing like serious numbers. I find that there's some similarities between her and I. Her album is called Alligator Bites Never Heal. The book that I'm working on, the book that I'll be working on, you'll see here in a second. It has an alligator in the book, and it's other similarities too. Anyways, hit that light coming through the door. I'll be back in a second. Hold tight. Shout out to Doechii too. Shout out to Doechii. Very talented. Very, very talented. All right, we're gonna start it back off like this. Let's go. Let's go. Where's my beloved Bajillion? That's not it. All right. Let me turn this down a little bit. All right. It had been something extra special about that day. The way the water shimmered, how the sun shined, how beams of light penetrated through some of those clouds while warming bare back. Unlike his father, Jacob hadn't worn a hat to protect his head and face. The sun was draining the boy of his rambunctiousness, thereby aiding in the calming effect. As the day had gone by, and as Jacob was being superbly focused on behaving, something special happened. Maybe it was the location. Maybe it was the location and the time of the year that had opened a portal to some other dimension. Excuse me. Or perhaps it was the intense liquor he drank from the canteen. Liquid, I'm sorry. I already did this, if you guys remember. Or perhaps it was the intense liquid. Or perhaps it was the intense drink. Or let's see. Or perhaps it was the strong drink. Or perhaps it was the strong drink he sipped from the canteen. It could have been. It could have been how deep the little boy had gone into meditation, a thing he'd never done before, but did so effortlessly that day. In truth, all of these things had come together perfectly, opening the portal. But it was more than this, much more. As the great Albert Einstein once said, logic will get you from A to B, imagination will take you everywhere. Ultimately, father and son ended the day with a catch of 7 fish, 2 sandwich-sized brim, and 5 slightly larger than sandwich-sized redbreasts. As dusk set in and bait ran low, Henry was noticing his son's peace. After Jacob promised to be on his best behavior in hopes of receiving a puppy, and the 2 bouts with the alligator, or whatever it had been, or whatever it was, or whatever it had been, or whatever it was. Too many it had beens. Too many it had beens. Or whatever it was, the day continued on perfectly. Okay, son, said Henry as he got up from his bucket. It's time to go to this party. Can I help clean the fish? Asked Jacob. Henry paused in awe. I see. So you really are serious about this puppy thing, huh? I just want to do my part, that's all, Jacob insisted. Sure, if you want to help clean fish, I'm not going to stop you. I guess it's a first for everything. Alright, so we're going to pick it up here next time in the green. And at some point here, I'll mark the spot where I stop at in red. Gathering the gear while the tired sun descended from the sky, the 2 anglers used what little light they had to guide them on the path. Alright, so right here I'm saying that they have been fishing all day, because if you remember, they went out there with early morning. So now I'm saying that it's dark. So they've been out there all day. How many hours? It's October, so how many hours in a day of sunlight do we have in October? Man, Siri had been talking to me lately. She's mad about something. Siri, how many hours of daylight are they in October? Okay, days will get significantly shorter through the month of October. Okay. October 1st will have 11 hours and 46 minutes of total daylight, with the sun setting at 6:59 p.m. Okay. Alright, so if they've been out there... okay, I may have to, when I go back over this, I may have to... Alright, I'm going to leave it there for now, y'all. So as you can see, there's not a lot of sunlight in the month of October. Until, let me see. Until time changes, I guess. I don't know. All right. Gathering the gear while the tired sun descended from the sky, the 2 anglers used what little light they had left to guide them on the path. That's fine. Right now it's fine. Jacob was using every ounce of willpower to show his father just how serious he could be. And unbeknownst to the boy, an ally, one he himself had conjured up remnants of his own thoughts, the little Jacob who'd magically appeared on the fishing court, with no mass to weigh him down, out of its own curiosity had decided it best to tag along with Jacob and his father. Man, that's a long sentence, but that's okay. Stephen King will write a whole paragraph with one period. A whole paragraph, one period. If he can do it, dang it, I can do it as well. As the two collected the gear, the little spirit thing began leaping from lily pad to lily pad. The one who appeared out of thin air, and at the thought began an invisible display of leaps. The one who appeared out of thin air, and at the thought, I don't know what that means. Began an invisible display of leaps, as though a toad leaping. Hopping, let's say hopping. Leaps, hopping. Began an invisible display of leaps, as though a toad hopping from one floating pad to the next. An imagined melody matched its every move. After each leap, the little thing paused to balance itself. At one point, while standing on one leg, it put out its arms. Excuse me. Then swayed back and forth like a little tree. Though unable to be physically harmed, it feared falling into the predator-infested water. All right. After each leap, I gotta get some water. Look, I just want to say thank y'all for stopping by, man. I just want to say thank y'all for stopping by. It is quite a pleasure doing this for my future friends and family. Let's see, I'm gonna have to stop being so cheap. I gotta stop being so cheap, y'all. My video, I gotta buy a damn computer. Not only do I have to buy a computer, I gotta buy more video editing software, because this computer here is, how can we say without offending the computer? El Cheapo. Maybe it doesn't speak Spanish. Very El Cheapo. When I say very El Cheapo, I mean $150 I think I spent on the computer. Put it this way, the ring light that I have here looking at me, and the camera, and the software cost way more than and the microphone and the headset. These are cheap headsets too. I meant El Cheapo. As you can see, I have two cords. If you see two cords on a headset, that means El Cheapo. $29 from BJ's. Anyways, an imagined melody. All right, let's go back. The one who appeared out of thin air began an invisible display of leaps, as though a toad hopping from one floating pad to the next. An imagined melody matched each. An imagined melody matched its every step. The one who appeared out of thin air began an invisible display of leaps, as though a toad hopping from one floating pad to the next, with an imagined melody matching every jump. After each leap, the little thing paused to balance itself. After each I put it in the wrong place. After each clumsy leap, the little thing paused to balance itself. At one point, while standing on one leg, it put out its arms, then swayed back and forth like a little tree before rebalancing itself on the pad. Like a little swaying tree. Oh man, I love writing. I really do. I can't explain it. I can't explain, like, because I know when I wrote this the first time, well, not the first time, when I wrote it the first time, I wrote it in first person. And if anybody knows anything about writing in first person, that's not easy. That's not easy. Because first person is not first person, second person. Yeah, second person. You got first and third person. That's like a first person, I'm writing as though it's me. Third person is I'm writing as though I'm the narrator. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm still asleep. Second person is I'm writing as though I'm you, the reader. So when I say the little thing paused, I had that worded as the little you paused to balance yourself instead of itself. And that gets a little complicated after a while. So I changed that. Oh, boy. I gave myself a dimple. There. Is that a dimple right now? Each clumsy leap, the little thing paused to balance itself. At one point, while standing on one leg, it put out its arms, then swayed back and forth like a little tree. Oh. Like a little tree before rebalancing itself on the pad. Though unable to be physically harmed, it feared. It seemed to fear. it seemed to fear falling into the predator-infested water. The thing that the boy created with concentration was now there in the present moment. It was a miniature version of Jacob, observing, being silent while witnessing. Again, it leaped. It was there on the pond, making its way towards the boy. It could see without seeing. It heard without hearing. It felt, it smelled. It's who the boy summoned unconsciously. Magically, in its little mind with little senses, it heard a piano playing. Magically, in his mind, magically, mysteriously, in his mind, Jacob began hearing what sounded like a piano playing. Those notes played in sync. I know that's not one word, but I want to see something here. No, in sync. In sync, that's a musical group, right? Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. Search. Take a look up. I think it's my computer. I thought it was the internet, but it's got to be my computer. I'm seeing choppy movements on the camera. Like, I'm freezing up. I hope you guys can hear my voice. Anyways, we're just going to go with, let's close this out. And we're going to back this up. Those notes played in sync with each jump of the invisible hymn. It was the perfect melody fitted for a fairy. Soon the miniature Jacob, the one without a body, landed on the ground next. The one without an actual body, the one without an actual body landed on the ground next to the actual Jacob's feet, stirring a leaf. At last, and with the percussions joining the piano, the little pixie was on solid ground. Something above its head hovered like an orb, or floated like a butterfly, but Being there on the ground, it saw without seeing for the very first time the tiniest of insects like ants, spiders, and mites. Oh my, there goes a jumping flea. Things it had never seen before. It saw now in vivid color and grand size. It didn't fear these things because they couldn't hurt it, but those insects were certainly curious. There came a granddaddy spider. One long leg reached out to the thing it knew was there but could not see. Miniature Jacob. Let me see. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. Miniature Jacob flinched, but was unaffected, untouched by the arachnid. As it looked up, the sky seemed farther away. The trees were enormous. There was a cardinal looking down at it. Is this really happening? He asked himself. Yes, the answer was yes. It began to feel the nauseousness that is accompanied with time-space traversing. It's similar to that feeling that comes after intently watching too many home videos in one setting. It only feels this way momentarily, however, before coming back to the present moment. It wasn't long before it attached itself to the body. Man, do I enjoy spending quality time with my father, Jacob said to himself, but loud enough for Henry to hear. Tickled by his son's flattery, an embarrassed smile came over the man's face. With a glance upward toward the tree line, his appreciation of the moment was solidified by the sight of fading sun rays. We really must do this more often, Father, Jacob added, flabbergasted. Henry chose to surprise the unexpected child by joining in. But of course, son, it would be of the highest pleasure, said Henry. Huh? Jacob stalled before coming back with, Father! Yes, son, Henry answered back with chuckles. Have you ever noticed the beauty that bestows one after entering the lush greenness of the forest? Now, I wrote a note here. Let's see. Should this go deeper? As in, the sprite thing is causing Jacob to speak like this. Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's a good point. Because I say that because Jacob is 10, he's from the country, and I don't think he would know how to speak like this. Unless he was being influenced. Or unless he was possessed by something. Assuming his son could continue. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna have to pause it here because that's a good point. That's a great point. I don't know where the story is going right now, y'all. If you look at the bottom of your page, I'm on page 31 of 100, 25,000 words. Right now, it's the size of a long, short story. But it's been 30 minutes. I gotta go do some very important stuff today with my family. So it is 7:13. Y'all know I like to get done with everything by 7:15, or not get done, but get started by 7:15. So I'm actually gonna quit 2 minutes before I'm supposed to get started. So y'all know I'm up early today. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it right here. But I'm gonna put another note. I'm gonna add another note to this. Let's see. Resolve, comment, new note. So yeah, this is gonna have another note, and what I'm gonna say is, is Jacob. Considered. I'm gonna just put considered. Consider the above comment. That's all I'm gonna put. Consider above comment. That's all I'm gonna put right here. And now, for anybody who's trying to figure out how to write, look, I'm not a best-selling author yet, but I've written 4 novels and published those novels. I everything from scratch. I've done it. I've put these books together myself. And if you are interested in what those books are about, go to my website, writedisway.com. That's writedisway.com. Or you can just Google my name, Anthony L. Kelly, Kelly, and go to Amazon and order those books. I think you can get them from Barnes and Nobles. I'm not even sure. Whatever the case is, if you're curious about my writing style, go check out my books. And if you are a writer or a writer in the making or a writer at heart or whatever, regardless of your age, and you want to get into this, stay tuned first of all, but also go study my other books. Till next time, y'all be blessed. This is Anthony L. Kelly. Hit that like, leave a comment, share this video. I'm out.